I didn't plan on starting my Friday morning with a punch to the chest, but that's exactly how it felt when my sister's message popped up on my screen. I was standing in my office, sunlight hitting the glass walls, my assistant rushing in and out with schedules, when my phone vibrated. I glanced down, expecting something normal. Maybe a photo of her wedding venue, maybe a goofy update about flowers or seating charts. Instead, I read this. You're not coming to the wedding. My fiancé says you'd ruin the vibe. For a moment, everything just slowed. The office noise faded, the hum of printers blurred out, and all I could focus on was the sinking feeling in my stomach. I read it again, as if the words might magically rearrange themselves into something sensible. But no, it was exactly what it looked like, a clean cut. No apology. No explanation. Just a digital dismissal sent like it was nothing. My grip tightened around the phone. My sister, my own sister, Chelsea, and her fiancé, the man I already disliked without ever having met him properly, Tyler Grant. I exhaled, long and slow, because my body wanted to scream, but my mind refused to give them that satisfaction. I didn't curse. I didn't argue. I didn't even text back. Instead, I locked the phone and set it on my desk like it was nothing more than a scheduling reminder. But something fierce snapped awake inside me. You think I'll ruin your vibe? Really? Me? I walked to the window of my 23rd floor office, staring down at the city I had fought tooth and nail to climb through. People don't hand you success here, not when you're a 29-year-old woman running one of the fastest-growing PR firms in the state. I built Colworth strategies with late nights, missed holidays, and more silent tears in break rooms than anyone knew. And apparently, none of that mattered to my sister's vibe. My assistant, Chloe, peeked her head in. Ms. Warren, the gala team is asking if you still want to approve the red carpet layout today. I straightened my blazer.
Yeah.
Send them in. Because while my sister was busy erasing me from her guest list, I was preparing for something much bigger. Tonight wasn't just any corporate gala. It was my gala. Colworth's annual industry leaders event, a night where CEOs, investors, founders, and board members walked the carpet under my company's logo, shook my hand, and remembered my name. And most importantly, tonight, we were signing a new multi-million-dollar partnership. Chloe handed me a folder. Here's the updated information on the new partner's CFO. He'll be finalizing everything tonight. I flipped the page. My breath caught. My eyebrows lifted. CFO, Tyler Grant. Of course. The universe had a sense of humor. I gave a short, sharp laugh.
Wow.
Interesting. Something wrong? Chloe asked. Not at all, I said, closing the folder calmly. Tonight is going to be very informative. Because the same man who told my sister I'd ruin the vibe would be walking straight into my event, my world, without having a clue who he was about to shake hands with. By 6 p.m., the hotel ballroom glowed like a scene out of a prestige drama. Gold uplighting washed over tall glass centerpieces, polished floors reflected camera flashes, and the red carpet leading to the media wall stretched like a runway of power. Guests arrived in waves. Mayors, executives, high-level directors. My company's banner stretched across the media backdrop, shining under the lights. I stood near the entrance in a sleek black evening jumpsuit, confident, composed, and very aware of the silence in my phone. My sister hadn't texted again. She probably thought I was curled up somewhere crying. Not even close. The gala buzzed with energy. Conversations about stocks, mergers, and expansions filled the air. Laughter echoed from the VIP lounge. My team moved with perfect precision. But the real show hadn't even started. A ripple of whispers moved near the entrance. One of my PR managers rushed toward me. Madison, your new partner's CFO just arrived. My heart thumped with a slow, controlled rhythm. Here we go. I walked with purpose toward the red carpet, my heels sharp against the marble. When I reached the edge of the crowd, I saw him instantly. Tyler.
Tall. Polished.
Expensively dressed. Exactly the kind of man who thought he owned every room he stepped into. Not tonight. He adjusted his tie and began walking the carpet, the photographer asking him to slightly turn his shoulders. He smiled for the cameras until his eyes locked onto me. He froze.
His smile shattered.
He blinked like he had seen a ghost. Then his expression twisted into panic. He looked at the banner. Colworth Strategies. Then back at me. Why, you? He choked out, loud enough that a few people turned. What are you doing here? I tilted my head slightly, calm and unbothered. I'm hosting, I said. He stepped forward, voice cracking. No. No, this can't be happening. His reaction was louder now. Guests were watching. Phones were turning. The man who thought I'd ruin the vibe was unraveling in front of half the city's business elite. I didn't flinch. Is something wrong, Mr. Grant? Asked, keeping my voice professional. You didn't tell me you owned this company. You didn't ask, I replied. He looked like he wanted the floor to swallow him whole. This wasn't revenge. This was balance. The universe had simply returned the energy he sent out. He ran a hand through his hair, sweating under the camera lights. Chelsea didn't tell me you were this successful. I raised one brow. Does my resume affect her wedding vibe? He swallowed hard. Look, I didn't mean. Save it, I said gently but firmly. We're in a professional setting. Let's behave like professionals. His face reddened. He knew he couldn't yell, couldn't insult me, couldn't control the moment. I stepped closer, offering my hand with perfect politeness. Welcome to my gala, Mr. Grant. I hope you enjoy the evening. The cameras flashed. He shook my hand because he had no choice. And in that second, he knew two things. He couldn't erase me, and he definitely couldn't outrank me. The best part? This was only the beginning. Tyler's hand was still in mine when he forced a shaky smile for the cameras, but the panic behind his eyes was impossible to hide. His whole vibe collapsed the moment he realized the woman he'd banned from his wedding was the same woman his company needed a multi-million-dollar partnership from. He finally let go of my hand. Straightening his suit like that might fix the mess he'd walked into. Madison, he whispered harshly. Please, can we talk privately? I didn't even look at him. You'll have to wait until after the presentation. I'm running the event tonight. Then I turned away, giving my staff a few quick commands, pretending he wasn't melting behind me. The more I ignored him, the more he followed like a guilty shadow. A cluster of CEOs approached to shake my hand. Ms. Warren, the event looks incredible. Your opening speech last year was unforgettable. Can't wait to hear your announcement tonight. I smiled professionally, thanked them, exchanged business cards. Tyler hovered just out of frame, watching people treat me with respect he clearly never imagined I'd earned. Every compliment he heard seemed to slap him.
Good.
A PR coordinator rushed to me. Madison, we're ready for sound check on stage. Perfect. Let's go. I walked toward the stage with confident strides. Tyler, desperate not to lose sight of me, trailed behind. Madison, seriously, just give me 30 seconds, he whispered urgently. No, I said without breaking stride. You're mad. I'm busy. He ran a hand over his face. Chelsea didn't tell me you were this. Competent. I offered. Successful? Capable? Independent? Which word is surprising you the most?
He winced.
Look, I know how it must have seemed. No, I interrupted. You know exactly how it seemed. You wanted to cut me out of the wedding because I didn't fit your curated image. That's not. Save it, I said, hopping onto the steps leading to the stage. Your opinion doesn't affect my life. The sound tech handed me a mic for level testing. Ms. Warren, can you count to 10 for us? I gave a slow smile, staring directly at Tyler as I began speaking into the mic. 1, 2, 3. The tech nodded. Perfect. You're good. As I walked off stage, the event manager hurried over. Madison, your keynote presentation is cued. Also, the Bennett Group team is here. Behind her stood 2 executives, and they were looking for their CFO. One of them gasped softly. Mr. Grant, are you all right? You look pale. Tyler straightened, trying to regain control. I'm fine. Just taking everything in. Your CEO is excited to finalize the partnership tonight, the woman said cheerfully. That's when Tyler's panic deepened. He knew the situation perfectly. To get this contract, his company needed me. But he had personally disrespected me less than 24 hours ago. The room shifted as the lights dimmed slightly, signaling guests to take their seats. I stepped toward the stage entrance. Tyler reached out one more time. Madison, please. Chelsea doesn't know about any of this. She doesn't know the gala is yours. She doesn't even know how big your company is. I paused, my hand on the curtain. My voice was low, calm, controlled. She should. She's my sister. Then I walked onto the stage as applause filled the ballroom. The spotlight hit me. My name lit up behind me, and every person, including Tyler, fell silent. Good evening, everyone. I'm Madison Warren, founder and CEO of Colworth Strategies. I began. Camera flashes sparked. Heads lifted. People leaned in to listen. And in the back of the room, my sister's fiancé stood frozen, realizing exactly what he'd thrown away when he dismissed me with a text message. As I spoke, Tyler finally understood. I wasn't ruining anyone's vibe. I was the vibe. The moment I stepped off stage, the ballroom buzzed louder than before. Investors hurried toward me, executives requested meetings, and my staff was moving like a synchronized machine. The spotlight wasn't just on the event, it was on me, and Tyler knew it. He followed at a distance, looking like a man trying to juggle guilt, fear, and humiliation all at once. Every time someone greeted me with respect, he shrank a little more.
Good.
My event manager handed me a tablet. Madison, the Bennett Group wants to finalize the contract now. They're waiting in the VIP lounge. Perfect, I said. Send them in. I walked through the crowd, nodding politely, answering quick greetings. Tyler trailed behind like a dropped shadow. The VIP lounge doors slid open, revealing a polished room with velvet chairs, soft lighting, and the Bennett Group CEO sitting with a thick folder. He stood when I entered. Ms. Warren, your speech was outstanding. Truly inspiring. I shook his hand. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the event. Tyler hovered awkwardly by the door, clearly unsure where he belonged. The CEO gestured to a seat. Please join us so we can go through the final numbers. I sat. Tyler didn't. He looked like he wanted to evaporate. The CEO finally noticed. Tyler, are you joining us, or? Tyler forced a smile that didn't reach his eyes and moved forward. Yes, of course. He sat beside me, reluctantly, like a student waiting for the principal to scold him. I opened the contract folder. Everything looks in place. I just need to confirm a few final points. The CEO nodded eagerly. We're thrilled to partner with Colworth. Your team has exceeded every expectation. Across the table, Tyler swallowed hard. He knew the deal hinged on professionalism, and he was sitting in front of the very woman he'd disrespected. He leaned closer, whispering urgently, Madison, we need to talk after this. No, I whispered back, eyes still on the contract. This is serious. So is this deal. I replied calmly. The CEO cleared his throat. Tyler, do you have anything to add? No, everything looks great, he stuttered. I signed the first set of documents with a smooth flick of my pen. Then I slid the folder to Tyler. His fingers trembled.
He signed.
Then the CEO signed, sealing the partnership. With a satisfied smile, the CEO stood. Congratulations, Ms. Warren. This is the beginning of something big. We shook hands again. Tyler shook his too, but the CEO barely noticed him. The room was mine. As the CEO exited, Tyler finally let out a breath like he'd been drowning the entire evening. Madison, please. What? I said, crossing my arms. You can't tell Chelsea about this, he said desperately. She won't understand. I lifted my brows. She won't understand what? That you didn't invite me because you thought I'd embarrass you? Or that you just signed one of the biggest deals of your career under my company's banner? He flinched. I made a mistake, okay? He whispered. But I never meant to hurt you. You did anyway. And I'm trying to fix it. I gave a low, bitter laugh. Fix it? Tyler, you told my sister I wasn't good enough to sit at her wedding table. He ran a hand through his hair. I thought you were just, I don't know, someone who hadn't figured out her life yet. I didn't know you were this. I stepped closer, my voice firm, but even. That's the problem. You judged me before you even met me. You made assumptions about my worth based on nothing. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. I turned toward the exit. I don't need your apology. I don't need your approval. And I definitely don't need your wedding invitation. Madison, he called after me, voice cracking, please don't tell Chelsea. She'll think the truth, I said without turning back. Then I left the room. I walked into the ballroom with my head high, my team smiling at me, my name glowing on every screen. It felt like the whole night shifted once I closed that door. Tonight, Tyler learned who I really was. Tomorrow, it would be Chelsea's turn. I left the VIP lounge with a calmness that surprised even me. Not anger. Not revenge burning in my chest. Just clarity. The kind that settles in once you stop needing people who don't value you. The gala wrapped up beautifully. Cameras flashed, guests congratulated me, and my team moved like a well-oiled machine. By the time the final guests left, the ballroom glowed with that satisfying after-event quiet. Chloe approached with my coat. Fantastic night, Madison. Everyone's talking about you. Good, I said, slipping into it. Let them. Because tomorrow, the wedding weekend would begin, and not with me crying at home like they expected.
No.
Morning came fast. At 10:13 a.m., my phone buzzed. Chelsea. Hey, are you mad? You didn't reply yesterday. Anyway, wedding brunch today. Wish you were here, but you know the vibe. I stared at the message. There it was again. That word. Their golden excuse to cut me out. Instead of replying, I opened a photo sent by one of my event photographers. A perfect shot from last night. Me on stage, spotlights glowing. The crowd applauding. My company's name behind me in bold gold letters. I forwarded the photo to Chelsea. Then I added, me. Hope your fiancé enjoyed the gala last night. He was front row at MY event. The typing bubble on her end appeared instantly. Then disappeared. Then reappeared. Then disappeared again. Finally, a message came through. Chelsea. Wait, what? Tyler said he had a boring work dinner. He didn't say it was your company. I sent another picture. This one of me shaking hands with her fiancé's CEO as they signed the deal. 10 seconds later, my phone rang. Her name lit up. I let it ring twice before answering. Hey, Chels. Her voice cracked. Why didn't you tell me you're running that company? Because you never asked, I said softly. She inhaled shakily. Tyler told me you had no direction, that you bounced around too much. He said having you at the wedding would be distracting. I closed my eyes. There it was, the real truth. I wasn't uninvited because I'd ruined the vibe. I was uninvited because he couldn't handle my success. Chelsea, I said carefully, is that really the kind of man you want to marry? Silence. A long, trembling silence. Then, he lied to me. Her voice crumbled.
About you.
About last night. About who he is. I didn't say a word. She continued. I'm coming over.
Right now.
Please don't go anywhere. Within 20 minutes, she was at my door, makeup smudged, hair pinned from bridal trials, looking nothing like the glowing bride she'd hoped to be. The moment I opened the door, she threw her arms around me. Madison, I'm so sorry, she cried. I should have never believed him over you. I hugged her back, steady and warm. You deserve the truth. That's all. She pulled away, wiping her cheeks. Can you come to the wedding? I smiled gently. Only if you genuinely want me there. Not because of him. I want you, she whispered. Not him. My eyebrows rose. Chels. I'm calling it off, she said quietly. I'd rather walk away now than spend my life with someone who's threatened by my own sister. And right then, I knew the ending wasn't revenge. It was healing. A new beginning. For both of us.